Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you why you think you're bad at soldering but you actually are not bad at soldering. And to cut it short, it's all about the solder you use. So this is the solder that I've been using recently, and this is the solder that I used to use. Now, the two key differences that you need to be looking out for when buying solder is, if you can get leaded solder, get leaded solder, it's just better. If you can't get leaded solder, then you must get flux core solder. Now this is unleaded flux core solder. This is unleaded solder but with no flux core. And you ideally want, I believe it's 60/40 solder is the best one that you can get on a hobby level. So I'm going to be showing you the differences today and just showing you why you think you're bad but you actually aren't. Now here's my soldering iron. It's the Pine Sol 64. It's already heated up, which I need to unheat. For now, I'm going to clean my soldering iron. I'll show you the tip that I'm using. It's like a nice pencil tip. Now, you don't need a high-end soldering iron, because the soldering iron, all it does is heat up. Mine heats up very quickly, has all these cool features, but you don't need them. I do recommend this soldering iron. It's cheaper than you think it is, and I will link it in the description. But any soldering iron will do. If you can get a nice clean tip, get a nice clean tip. And if you want a better experience, get a better soldering iron, because it'll heat up quicker, has cool features like lift to wake and auto sleep and stuff, and also temperature control. So first I'm going to show you how the bad solder performs. Now this is the black wire that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be trying to show you. Just going to tin this wire, so I'm going to show you the performance under its tinning. Just find a spot where it sits properly. Okay. Now I'm going to get a bit of the non-flux core solder. Now, what you want to be looking for when you're soldering, and especially tinning, is you want to be applying heat. Oh, hang on. You want to be applying heat onto the wire, and you don't want to be feeding the solder into the iron. You want to tin the iron first. But you see already, you can see that this didn't tin that well. And I'll show you the results on the time when I tin it with the flux core solder. So this, you want to be feeding the solder on the back side, or like the opposite side that you have the iron. And you can see this really isn't performing that well. Okay, now it's started to bite, but you can see it just blobs up. It doesn't flow through the wire, so you're not going to get a good soldering connection. There we go, I've got a bit of one started, but you can see it just like, okay, I don't want to burn myself, but you can see it blobs up but doesn't flow through. And this isn't what you want. So I'm going to clean my iron, and we're going to use the red wire with the flux core solder. So I'm going to break off a bit. And let's see how this performs. I'm going to tin my iron. Iron is tinned, and you can see already like the iron tins all the way throughout rather than just blobbing up. So I'm going to apply the iron to the backside, and I'm just going to feed the solder. I don't know if I'm getting it heated properly. There we go. There we go, now it's flowing in. You can see it flows into the wire rather than just blobbing on top of it. There you go, that's much better. So now we're going to tin the pads, and I'm going to break off two different pieces. So we're going to start with the good flux core solder. We're going to be using this middle pad here, okay? So here we go. I forgot to tin the iron first, but that's fine. So now you don't want to be feeding the solder into the iron, you want to be feeding it into the pad. You can already see that that is pretty spot on. You can see how shiny it is as well. And that looks like a good soldering, good tinned pad. So here we go. Let's get the non-flux core solder here. I'm going to be using this pad, and let me tin the iron first this time, just to give it a little bit of a chance. Okay, we're going to... Alright, now we're going to feed this in, but you see it doesn't really like it as much. I mean, this obviously it's not the best example I've made, but you can see that even if I don't have a tinned iron and I just put this here, it takes ages to heat up. It takes ages to melt. If I do it to this one, it does it instantly, look. And then it comes back shinier. So now we're going to try and solder this wire to the pad. Let me give it a chance by tinning the iron. Okay. I feel like I always have to put more solder onto the iron for this to work with the non-flux core, but I'm gonna try our best here. You see, it's not liking it. See, just getting a pants joint. Look, it really isn't liking it. Okay. Oh, it isn't even soldering. Let me boost the heat on my iron and get more blobs on here. Okay, so I'm going to blob up my iron. I'm going to try again with the non-flux core solder. Hey, it's just not liking it, is it? So if you're having trouble like this as a beginner, let me just focus, there we go, that's better. If you're having trouble like this as a beginner, this is why. And yeah, I can't even solder this one. So now I'm going to use the flux core solder. And I'm going to use the red wire, which is the one we tinned with the flux core solder. So I'm going to tin my iron with the flux core solder. Actually, I'm just going to clean it and then do it again. You can see how uniformly that flows onto the iron. Okay, now I'm going to put the red wire on and apply heat. Oh, I've missed it. There we go. Well, look, melts. Oh, that's just my bad skill. Can't keep it still. But then again, I have a camera in the way. There you go. Now, it's obviously not the best joint that you've seen because I need to put more solder on it. I didn't put enough on the pad, so I'm just going to fix that up. Got a nice shiny joint. Look at that. Now that's a good strong joint there. You can see me pulling on it. Now if I did that, if I pulled like that on this one, it would just come off, I think. Well, you can see the difference. Let's look what it's done to this. Now yeah, so if you've been like watching some hobby YouTuber like Great Scott or Joshua Bardwell, if you're into drones, or people who you just look at them and you think, oh, their soldering joints are so clean. Why can't I get ones like that? And you think, okay, I'll buy a new iron We'll see if that helps, and then you realise it doesn't help. The real reason is the solder you're using, so make sure you get new solder. We'll link it in the description, the one that I've just used, the good one. Won't link the bad one because I don't want you to buy that. And if you do have non-flux core solder, you can paint flux on, but it's a bit more messy and it's just not as convenient. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and hope this has helped you with your hobbies and your soldering. Goodbye. Okay, so now I've got a blobbed up. Oh, hang on.